Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today I want to talk about something a little bit different. I know this channel is all about building and shipping real world projects, but today I want to talk about something a little bit different, and that is open source and open source contribution. We as developers do love open source. We use these projects in our day-to-day workflows, but we need to take a minute and just reflect on what open source is, how they operate, and how we as developers can be part of it. So if you're a developer who has been looking forward into joining an open source contribution or maybe a program, then this video is for you. So I'm going to talk about some of the main open source programs that you can join as a developer to be able to make your first open source contribution, some of the benefits that you can get from joining these programs, and most importantly is that you are going to learn how to contribute to open source by the end of this video. So if that's something that you've been longing for, then let's get into it. So the first thing that we need to talk about is what is open source in first place. So open source is a project whose source code is publicly available to the public, which means the public can view the code. They can also suggest some changes to the open source code. Think about something like VS Code, Python, Django, Linux, and so much more. Those are some of the main popular open source projects that we as developers use in our day-to-day projects and workflows. So one thing that we need to know is that we can also be part of it. And one of the fears that I know many developers face, especially for beginners, is how do I start contributing to open source? So the fear has always been attributed by it not being good enough. But to be honest, contributing to open source doesn't involve too much technical abilities. Of course, you do need some technical skills to contribute to some big open source projects. But to just get started with open source contribution, you can do as simple as just contributing a documentation or even some tutorial guides for the open source to be successful. So today I'm going to unpack some of the ways and programs that you can join to be able to be part of an open source contribution team. So one of the popular open source contribution programs is the Google Summer of Code. So Google Summer of Code just brings together developers in a program. I think it runs for 8 weeks. Yeah, you can see the countries from all over 123 countries. We have mentors. We also have open source contributors. So these are some of the programs that you can sign up for, and then you can be able to start your open source journey. It's actually free to sign up. And then the next one that I want us to talk about is the Djangonaut Space. So this is where we're going to zoom into. We're going to talk about how to become a Djangonaut and how you can apply. And then I'm also going to explore some of the benefits of joining this open source. So the session 6 is currently ongoing. So it's going to take 8 weeks. Then I think after that, you can pay attention into their social media pages where you can apply for the 7th session. So that is it. So with my journey to open source contribution, I've always wanted to contribute to open source, especially Django, but I didn't know how to contribute. But when I heard of Djangonaut Space, I tried to apply for the 5th session, but I wasn't successful. The good thing is that they told me some of the areas that I did wrong in my application. So when session 6 was open, I decided to apply again. And then in the March of 2026, that is when I was approved to join the 6th session of the open source contribution. So one of the fears that even I had before I even applied for this is that I thought that I wasn't good enough to be able to contribute to open source, but it turns out it's quite easy. Open source is not just about contributing code. You can contribute as little as contributing to the documentation. Now that you've known what open source is, some of the programs that you can join to be able to contribute to open source, now let's look at some of the benefits that you can get as a developer from contributing to open source. So one of the benefits that you're going to get as a developer is that you're going to get some mentorship. So in your career, one of the best things that you can do to yourself is to get mentorship and not just be a solo developer. You need to get mentorship. And when you join one of these programs, whether it's Google Summer of Code or Djangonaut Space, is that you get to get a lot of mentorship. You get one-on-one calls with experienced developers who are going to advise you on your career. They're also going to guide you through the entire open source contribution program duration. Another thing is that you're going to learn how to contribute. You're going to learn how to collaborate and work with the teams. So most of us developers who haven't really gotten the experience to work in teams and also do collaborations, open source contribution and programs such as Djangonaut Space, these are programs that are really going to help you to get that experience of working in a team and also doing collaboration, making your first PR if you haven't. So that is something that is really important to know as a developer, even as you look forward to climb into the developer ladder. And that is made possible by joining this um, contribution programs. So another thing is that you get to network, because it's through these networks that you can get opportunities. So you get to network with different people from different background, different technical background. So it's really helpful to network. You also get opportunities within this program. I believe we also have some opportunities that are within these programs. So you also gain a portfolio, and also you get confidence, because we all know that to get a job, you're gonna need a portfolio, and the portfolio just needs to be something more than just an e-commerce site or maybe a project that you build. You need to have a portfolio, things such as open source contribution. If you mention them in your documents, I think they can take you somewhere. So you get the networks, you get the confidence, you also get the mentorship, as well as you learn to collaborate and work with teams. So now that we've learned what open source is, some of the programs and also the benefits, now let's look and go actually into how you can actually make your first open source contribution. So the first thing is that when you join the program, I'm going to zoom in into Djangonaut Space, because that is the current one that I'm currently in the session 6 of the Djangonaut Space. You are going to be assigned into different teams which are going to work on different pathways, topics, I mean. So there are some who are going to be in the accessibility, and to be honest, the accessibility is one of the best ways to get started with open source contribution. Once you obtain the confidence and you have the knowledge, you can then now proceed to go into other paths such as the Django core. But the one that I'm currently in is the accessibility team, where we work on the accessibility of the entire Django project website. So this is the website for the Django project, and we all know that websites needs to be accessible to people of different kinds. So our role here in our team is to make sure that the website is accessible to anybody. So you're going to head over to Django project on GitHub, and this is one of the biggest mistakes that beginners do make, because when you hear that you're going to Django, the first step is that you just might go to the Django, the core Django, but the one that we're working on is the accessibility team, is the Django project. So make sure that you are not in the core Django, but you just need to head over to the Django project, not the Django, the framework itself. You need to go to the Django project that you can see it's public. We have Django, we have channels, we have all these other projects that are open source. So you first need to go to the right project. For my case, it's a Django project, so you need to click on the Django project. And then the next thing that you need to do is that you need to fork the project. So you can see that we have Django project. We also have Django here. So this is the right one that you need to work to. It's a common confusion when you're just getting started. You need to go to the next one. So you're going to click on Django project. And then the next step is that you need to clone the repo. And then you are just going to run git clone. So I've already cloned my project here locally. So if I just list everything out, no, it's the wrong command, so I'm just going to list that out, and then you can see that we have the project here. We can make the changes locally, and then we can do a commit. Another thing that you need to ensure is that you need to activate your virtual environment when you're going to work on this locally. And then that is the first step. Now the next step is that you need to identify an issue at the first time, but there are tools online that you can use to help you in the open source to identify for any bug in the website. So here we're not contributing to the Django core, so we can use some tools. There is a popular Chrome extension that you can use when you want to identify some bugs in the project. For example, there's one that is called Accessibility Insight for Chrome. So I already have it here, so I'm just going to launch it. So you can use this tool here to be able to look for any bugs within your project. So you can do a fast pass, a quick access, an assessment, and all of that. But for our case, there is a bug here. If you scroll through the Django website. For example, if you come over here to the Django project website, you can see that we do have a low color contrast. Let's say if you focus to the logo, you can see that we do have this low color contrast. This one should be white instead of black. So this is one of the issues that can be fixed in the Django website. So if you focus on the logo, you can see that there's a black color instead of a white outline. So it should be like this. When you go to overview, it's white, 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 white. So that is what we need to fix. This one over here should be white as well. So we need to go to our code and fix that as well. So once we've identified the issue, the first thing is that you need to go back to your GitHub and raise an issue. So you can just go to your Django project website and then just say new issue. You can just click on new issue. And then you can say whether it's a community request, an issue, a blank issue, or just report a security vulnerability. So once you've done that and you've submitted the issue, you are going to be assigned to it by one of the maintainers. So let's click on this, for instance, this one, and then you can be assigned to work on it by one of the maintainers. As you can see here, I was assigned to fix that issue. And then you can now go ahead to your local repo, fix the issue, commit it, and now you can open PR with the fixed issue just like that. So to fix the issue, it's quite simple. All you need to do is to just come back here to your Django project. We need to go to the Django project itself. That's a styling issue, so we need to go to the CSS, and then it is in the style. It's here in the style.css, and then if you just search, we can just search focus. Yeah, so this is the fix that I added for the fix of the focus on the logo. So we just needed to add background that is white, so you can see that outline. Then we're using this CSS variable here, body/fg. So that was the right CSS variable that was supposed to be used for the logo. So that is it. That is how we fix the open source issues. The next thing that you need to do is that you need to create a branch. You need to create a new branch to be able to submit that. You don't have to work on the main. You should not work on the main. Just create a new branch, and then you can push it to the branch that you just created. Once you have pushed it, you can now open pull request. As you can see here, I opened a pull request for the fix. If you click on that pull request, it will be reviewed by one of the maintainers, or one of the reviewers rather. So you are going to have that pull request which will be reviewed. In case of anything, let's say you did not fix it correctly, they will write for you a review, and then you can go ahead and fix it. So that is it for our step-by-step process on how you can contribute to your open source. If you're a Django developer, as beginner Django developer, intermediate, senior, I highly recommend that you check the 7th session of the Djangonaut Space, as well as the Google Summer of Code, which is still open. You can make applications to be able to join these open source projects. These are the kind of projects that are going to build your confidence as a developer, and also help you network, and most importantly, grow your skills and confidence as a developer. So that is it, YouTube. I wanted to share with you the progress. I will share more regarding this program as we progress. So that is it for today, and see you in the next one.